Alright, this is Kenny Wright, Welsh Hormone Optimization, bringing you another training video. Today is a quick arm video. This one is called Angles for Arms. Okay? So in this video, I'm working biceps and triceps on certain angles to create certain results. I had somebody text me earlier in the day, a friend Tyler, and he said, how do you create bicep peak? For one, it's genetics. It's where your muscles tie in particularly. Some people have really long muscles, some people have really short muscles, some people have long attachments but high peaks. That's genetic, but you can do your best to be the best version of yourself. So, that being said, these are a good way to build bicep peaks by, once again, training as if you would flex. You know, you're doing a front double bicep. That's very similar to it. I'll explain a little more when I go into the next set. So these are like the reverse version of these for the long head of the tricep. See, as I extend my tricep head, boom, pops, it flexes. So you do a front double bicep or a tricep extension like this, you have thick hanging tricep muscles, and that creates a big, full, round looking arm. A lot of people just do a lot of push downs, and that only works that outer little horseshoe head there. And it looks good, but you lack full arm thickness. The long head is much, much, much fuller, much thicker than the short little head there. So okay, like I said, you wanna train as if you're posing. So this is working, you know, the very peak up by your shoulder of the inner head of the bicep. Actually, you know, the whole bicep is obviously working here, but you are pushing tension more towards the inside to create that inner separation. Inner bicep peak there. So boom, you can see it kind of peeking up. And you can also see the tricep is full and thick. I mean, obviously Phil Heath has fuller and thicker, but hey, I'm only human. So this is, like I said, kind of the reverse motion of the same thing for tricep thickness. You can see moving around how it flexes. That's that long head of the tricep. Fully extend it, fully contract it. Ooh, see some striations going on there. See, you can see that lower thickness just popping out there. That's a nice little silhouette going on. Alright, so I did about 4 of those back and forth, but we're moving on just for the sake of time. So this is single arm overhead dumbbell tricep extension. This is still working on that inner head of the tricep, or the long head of the tricep. It takes a lot of work, so you can. It's not exactly the same as what I was doing before. I think these work a little more full range, and you can go a little heavier with these, and you're hitting the inner head there. Ooh, nice definition going on. As I'm flexing in front of somebody as they're trying to get by like a jerk. So anyways, dumbbell concentration curl. You want to cock your elbow out, kind of dislocate your shoulder to let your whole arm rotate outward. You're bringing these up, twisting the wrist, and that creates more flexion in the bicep muscle. You can see this is for outer upper bicep peak. So if you're flexing like that, that's how you're working it. So keep your elbow cocked out. Everybody that does these, they cock their elbow out in the first place, and as the reps progress and they get harder, they creep their elbow in. Remember to keep it out. Now back to the tricep extension, overhead, single arm, all the way down till tricep completely lengthens, and then up, squeeze, up, squeeze. And don't let your elbow sag down. Try to keep it completely vertical. And this creates big, thick, full, muscular triceps. So remember, we're working angles. So you want to keep that inner arm parallel with the back of your head and vertical. Back to the dumbbell concentration curl. Come down till the bicep lengthens, not all the way to the floor. You don't need to. Just until the bicep completely lengthens. Squeeze it all the way up, rotate the wrists in. All the way up, rotate the wrist in. Keep the elbow cocked outward. So you're working that upper inner bicep peak. Or upper outer, sorry about that. All right, another variation here of a curl. These are incline bench dumbbell curls. These are super freaking hard, and that is extremely hard with only 30 pounds there. This kind of makes gravity and leverage work against you, which is a good thing because it makes it much, much, much harder. So since you're leaning back, gravity is always coming straight down. So you're leaning back, it's creating a longer range of tension. You got some freaking conditioning going on there. Right? I think we're going back into another set of those curls. And you can change the angle of them by moving your elbows inward, outward. If they're straight like this, you're pretty much just working the center, the very middle, both heads of the upper bicep peak, where your bicep peaks up by that front delt area there, that separation you see. But like you'll see on the next set, I tweak my elbows out just a little bit, and it changes the tension to work the inner head of the bicep more dominantly. And you'll see those here. See? Elbows out. Boom. You can see all that pressure. Look at all the blood going into those veins. Just because I changed the tension there. I mean, they were already pumped, but so you're changing the tension. You can see they're just straight out. If you look in the mirror, it works the inner upper head of the bicep. So this creates inner peak, which a lot of people lack, which I feel like I lack. At least that inner separation between the bicep and the tricep, especially when they're super pumped like this. So you can always keep progressing. Just find your weak points and find an angle, especially with arms. Arms are very versatile because you have you have your wrist, you have your elbow, you have your shoulder that can rotate a bunch of different ways. Things that your legs can't quite do because your hip doesn't rotate quite like a shoulder does. At least not functionally. So these, same thing. Keep those elbows out like that. Just lower them until the bicep lengthens. Squeeze them up all the way to the top. Lengthen. Squeeze them up. Yeah, these are getting fucking impossible. You just got to work until complete failure, and then you just got to laugh at yourself, apparently. So, okay. This exercise, cable, keep the elbow cocked out. This is very similar, but like the opposite. This is like the tricep version of a concentration curl. You keep that elbow cocked out like that. Keep it parallel with your body, but the elbow, cocked out and push down. Twist your wrist down and out. So you're working that. This is working on that, the horseshoe, the smaller head of the tricep there. And you can see it lengthening and contracting. Lengthening, contracting. So this works that very good. And that is obviously great in a, like a side tricep shot. It shows fullness, it shows definition. And the ones before were working the thickness of it. So you have a big, thick, full, fully developed, fully separated tricep, which is obviously pretty desirable visually. You can see exactly where it's working there. Just keep that elbow out, keep the shoulder kind of rotated forward. These are another thing that your elbow wants to creep in to make it easier for you. You have to keep resetting yourself. And on these two, when they get hard and you start to go into failure, don't just quit because there's nobody there to help you. You can spot yourself. You can just push your own hand down to create, be your own spotter pretty much, to keep pushing past the positive motions failure. Okay? So this is a good little quick arm day for angles. So we went over inner bicep peak, we went over outer bicep peak, we went over the long head of the tricep, and now the short head here. So this is a full arm workout. or angles to create definition, separation, peak, everything. All right? So this is another arm day. Hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends about it, all that good stuff. Hope you guys learned something, and we will see you another time. Thanks.